Live from Chicago's NBC 5, this is NBC 5 News at 10.
Say at 3:30, I'd say every other office that you'd walk into, there was champagne and cocaine.
An NBC 5 exclusive, Senate candidate Blair Hull opens up about his past drug use.
But first, a heated confrontation between two of the Republican Senate candidates. Good evening, I'm Warner Saunders.
And I'm Allison Rosati. Republican frontrunner Jack Ryan is fending off sensational allegations tonight about his divorce to actress Jerry Ryan. Our Amy Jacobson is live tonight with more on the story. Amy?
Allison, tonight U.S. Senate candidate John Borling's campaign manager claims he has seen Jack Ryan's entire divorce file. In it, allegations of abuse.
You want to give it or not? No. You don't. Look at the guy. You know what? I'd like a minute of your time.
Maybe privately we can do it.
Tonight, Senate candidate John Borling is trying to make good with Jack Ryan. Earlier, Borling's campaign manager Rod McCullough released a statement outlining alleged details of Jack Ryan's divorce from actress Jerry Ryan. McCullough says he saw copies of the sealed divorce papers on Friday. They contain sensational allegations. Tonight at a Republican fundraiser, Ryan had no comment.
I'm just not going to respond to his allegations without any facts to support them. I'm just not getting that game with him, so we're just not going to respond to those.
Okay, are they true? Do you know?
Just not responding to anything that he makes up about or says about things that may have happened in his mind.
The fact that he has not come out and said tonight, this guy is crazy, this stuff never happened. He hasn't said that.
Borling did not want the information released. Tonight, he fired Rod McCullough.
And I said we were not going to use it. I said it was distasteful matter. It remains a distasteful matter. I have not read Mr. McCullough's statement. He made it without authorization.
McCullough says Ryan took out 40 documents from his divorce, elements that surround his son. But McCullough says that was a cover-up.
And I have to say the judge must have given it some credence also. He had limited visitation. In the initial pleading, she asked for 0 visitation. She wanted to bar him from seeing his child. Now,
so why is McCullough coming forward? His candidate is in 5th place. Well, he says if he saw a copy of the divorce file, then the Democrats must also have a copy. Information he fears they may use against Ryan in the general election. Reporting live from downtown, Amy Jacobson, NBC 5 News.
All right, thank you, Amy.
First, it was allegations of spousal abuse. Tonight, Democrat Blair Hull talks about drug and alcohol abuse in his past. NBC 5's Phil Rogers has tonight's exclusive one-on-one.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
For this candidate and for the voters, a new distraction in the campaign's final days.
How long has it been since you used cocaine?
Over 20 years.
We joined Hull today on his campaign plane, traveling to events in the Quad Cities and East Peoria. In his only interview on the topic, he told us his drug use was a product of the times, the late 70s and early 80s, when he was earning his fortune in the Chicago financial markets.
Typically after a trading day, say at 3:30, I'd say every other office that you'd walk into, there was champagne and cocaine. And if you consider my use relative to the majority, I was a lightweight.
Hull complains that he is being held to a different standard than his opponents, who have also admitted drug use. He never had a cocaine problem and in fact used the drug at most a dozen times.
Did you buy it?
I think on occasion I did.
Being involved with illicit drugs involves breaking the law, involves going to people and buying a product illegally. Would you blame the voters for having a problem with the fact that you've revealed that you did that?
You know, I did that, and I regret it. I would not encourage others to do that. I experimented.
For the former frontrunner, it has been a bad couple of weeks. First the divorce questions, and now this. But he insists any involvement with drugs was minimal, and it was decades ago. Out here among the citizens, Hull says the divorce and drug questions never come up. And he predicts his candor about his past will resonate with the electorate.
Because of my true honesty in telling you that I've done these things, I think the voters of Illinois can be the judge.
Indeed, these are remarkably candid admissions in a campaign which many believed was already in trouble. In just 5 days, Blair Hull will learn if that openness has paid off. In East Peoria, Phil Rogers, NBC 5 News.
Our thanks to Phil. Crystal Lake police call it the worst case of neglect they've ever seen, and now a mother of 7 is under arrest. Tonight, police in special suits are searching the home on Grandview Drive. Earlier, a 15-year-old boy with cerebral palsy was suffering from malnutrition. He was found dead on the floor. Police say he weighed only 23 pounds. His mother, Kathy Leonard, is charged with involuntary manslaughter.
Filth, excrement, clothing, items overturned in the house, litter from cats. There were things all over this house.
6 other children, ranging in age from 3 to 17, were removed from the home.
The third deadly Metra accident in 2 months claims the life of an 8th grader. 14-year-old Kelly Nelson was on her way to school when she crossed the tracks at 83rd and Central Park. She was apparently wearing headphones and did not hear the train or the warnings. The body of missing Grundy County Sheriff James Olson is found near Morris, Illinois. The coroner says Olson died from self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Tonight, NBC5 investigates, could there be a potential problem with camp counselors? Despite reports of sexual abuse at some camps across the country, Illinois does not require background checks. NBC5's Marion Brooks reports that may be about to change.
You think summer camp, you think fun. You probably don't think about counselors like Kevin Henshin.
I would molest them, get them alone. I'd start touching them.
Henshin is a convicted sex offender and admits to having molested 24 kids, some as young as 3 years old, at summer camps near St. Louis. Henshin on parents.
They trust too much. They trust way too much.
Kathy Sticks has 2 children, aged 13 and 7, that she sends to away and day camps in the summer. And she, like many parents, never really thought about background checks for counselors.
The counselors at the camps that my kids have always gone to are mostly high school and college students, so it was never a concern of mine. I trusted the camp owners to do whatever check on their employees that they felt necessary.
Sticks' children have never been abused, but is her trust of age and camp directors enough? Kevin Henshin admits that he started molesting children as a teenager. State Representative John Fritchie.
Common sense would tell you that, of course, camp directors are screening who is working for them. And the reality is you would hope that most of them are. But we want to make sure that there's a safeguard.
So Fritchie has sponsored legislation that would require federal background checks and preclude those convicted of sex crimes from working at a camp. The idea followed a news report of abuse and frightening research that revealed hundreds of cases of sexual abuse at the hands of counselors all across the country.
We found incidents at church camps, community centers, day camps. So whether it's in your backyard or whether it's in the middle of the woods, this is a serious issue that needs to be addressed.
The American Camping Association supports this legislation as long as it doesn't put too great a financial burden on camps. Fritchie estimates a background check to cost about $40. The legislation is due for a vote in the House this month, and it will then move to the Senate if it passes. For more information on camp safety, we've provided you a link on NBC5.com. Warner, Allison.
Thank you, Marion.
They're calling it Spain's 9/11. Next, the worst terror attack in that country's history.
And she's a former press secretary to former Senator Carol Moseley Braun. Tonight, she's arrested as a spy.
I'm Lisa Parker. They've got a funny name, but the Attorney General isn't laughing. Why some say consumers are being misled by one car dealer's tactics. Target 5 goes undercover to shop for clown cars. Coming up.
And later, a very wintry night ahead. Brandt's forecast is also coming up. Tonight, Al-Qaeda is reportedly responsible for an explosive attack in Spain. This morning, 13 bombs went off on trains across Madrid. Within 20 minutes, nearly 200 people were dead and 1,400 were injured. A van was also found near the bomb site that contained detonators and an audio tape of verses from the Quran.
This is a nightmare scenario. Major metropolitan areas struck, multiple targets, high levels of devastation and carnage.
The email from Al-Qaeda also says that a major attack against America is, quote, 90% ready. They call today's attack part of settling old accounts with Spain, America's ally in its war against Islam.
Tonight, a former aide to former U.S. Senator Carol Moseley Braun of Illinois is accused of being a spy for Iraq.
I'm an anti-war activist and I'm innocent. I
41-year-old Susan Lindauer is a former journalist and served as a press secretary to 4 members of Congress, including Mosley Braun. She's accused of giving secret information to Iraqi intelligence agents. She was allegedly paid $10,000 for her services.
2 major developments tonight in the debate over gay marriage. California Supreme Court orders an immediate halt to same-sex weddings in San Francisco. City Hall then began turning couples away. In Massachusetts, lawmakers give preliminary approval to a constitutional amendment to ban gay marriages, but allow for civil unions. A final vote is still pending.
Still ahead, Princess Di's other secret tapes, why Scotland Yard is keeping them locked up.
And it's one of the oldest tricks of the trade. The state says one car dealer is in hot water over bait and switch sales tactics tonight. Target 5 is next.
And it's not the Wild West, just a wild scene in the West Loop. In tonight's Target 5, is it clever advertising or bait and switch by one local car dealer? Our Lisa Parker introduces us to clown cars.
Anyone in the market for a gleaming new Chevrolet Aveo should expect a basic price somewhere around $10,000. So, anyone opening Chicago newspapers recently might jump to see the Aveo offered at $7,295, more than 20% off the lowest list price. The astonishing deal offered by one of the major players on Chicago's car scene, Grossinger Chevrolet, a family business that owns 4 dealerships and one making a stir with its rock-bottom ad prices. So how can one dealer sell so cheap?
$14,995 or $239 per month.
Sounds good.
It's a question the Newstat family says sucked them right in to the Grossinger Toyota showroom. A late February ad offered a new 2003 Camry at a great price. A call to the dealership, they say, assured them there were 3 in stock.
I wasn't crazy about the colors, but for that price, I would have taken any one of them.
But if the ad was the bait, the Buffalo Grove family says the switch came when they walked into the dealership.
He came back in about 10 minutes and said, we don't have those cars in stock. All I have is one manual transmission. And I said, well, you just told me on the phone.
They say they couldn't get what the ad promised, which made us wonder, could we get that bargain basement Aveo listed in this week's paper? When we took an undercover camera out to see the new car, a salesman showed us this, a 2004 Aveo with 2 colors on its vinyl roof, half pink, half green. Referred to as the clown edition, the salesman on the lot with us observed it might be fine for teenagers. He then offered to show us other Aveos with regular roofs and much higher prices.
That's classic bait and switch. It's having an advertisement run, people see a great price, they get to the dealership, and then what do you see? A clown car. You don't want a clown car. You want a good-looking new car, just like they advertised.
Just one of several Grossinger violations recently alleged by the AG's office, which says omitting important facts about a car is deceptive advertising.
We have laws that protect consumers, and it protects consumers from misrepresentations, from false advertising.
Well, I don't believe it's a tactic. I think it's more of a marketing device.
Grossinger admitted no wrongdoing, but paid $30,000 to resolve the AG's case. A slap on the wrist, according to other area dealers, who declined to go on camera but call the clown car a hoax, the purest bait and switch out there, and say Grossinger is laughing all the way to the bank.
The fact that they are successful indicates that they are selling cars at a lower price than their competitors.
And also selling features which are clearly visible from the sky, if not always in the ads.
As a result of the AG's case, Grossinger must now list in its ads if a new car has been modified. Ads we reviewed from last week do say that some vehicles include a vinyl roof installed by the dealer, but don't say if that roof is pink and green. The Better Business Bureau has now asked Grossinger to resign its membership. As for the Newstat complaint, Grossinger says the Buffalo Grove family simply read the ad wrong. When we asked the dealership, we said, we haven't seen many of these cars on the road. Do you sell them? They said about 100 a year, and that their customers love them.
All right. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
The Hugo Awards honoring the best in television tonight pay tribute to our own Carol Maureen for enhancing the quality of journalism on both a local and national level. Carol received the Career Achievement Award. Congratulations on over 25 years of integrity and dedication.
Well deserved. Congratulations, Carol. Now let's head over to Brant Miller. I have to tell you, on Michigan Avenue, people were getting blown all over the place tonight. Windy out there.
I made the mistake of taking a little hike tonight, too, and it is very cold across Chicagoland. Look at these temperatures. In Oak Lawn, it's 17, wind chill 9, northwest winds at 5. In Morton Grove, 18, wind chill of 4. Northwest winds around 13 miles per hour. Let's use our pinpoint forecast to give you an idea what the winds and temperatures are like. We'll start off in Elgin. Current temperature there is 20. In Willowbrook, it's 21. Over in Indiana and Wheeler, it's now 22, 24 degrees. The winds now continue to be out of the west. Some of those wind gusts approaching 20 miles per hour. The wind chill values make it feel like it's in the single digits across Chicagoland. How cold will it get tonight? It looks like we're dropping to around 14 degrees. It's 19 now at O'Hare. Look upstream. Minneapolis at 9. Fargo at 9 degrees. Not the typical March low temperatures we're expecting. Satellite radar composite indicates it looks like there's some clouds, but since the temperatures are so cold, this is an infrared image and it's looking at temperatures to predict where the clouds are. So a lot of this is just the cold air showing up as cloud cover. Here's our satellite radar composite. It looks quiet to the west, but another system is developing that will be here on Saturday, late, probably after the St. Patrick's Day parade, with rain moving into Chicago. 14, the low tonight. Tomorrow's high temperature, only 35. Look at the Great Lakes. That's where the cold air is once again, thanks to those winds in the upper atmosphere out of Canada. So through tomorrow afternoon, this high with cold air moves off to the east. Here comes the weekend. Later in the day on Saturday, ahead of this cold front, a chance for some rain showers developing. High today was 43, the low 22. That 43 is deceptive. That was last night during the 1 o'clock hour. So tonight, clear, colder, wind chills near 0, and air temperatures around 14, a little warmer right along the lakefront. 35 with mostly sunny skies tomorrow. Here's the outlook for the next 5 days. Late Saturday, it looks like rain. Sunday for the Southside Parade, rain, maybe some snow showers late Sunday into Monday, and temperatures that stay, well, not quite spring-like. Go back to that 19. Look at this. These are snowdrops. Thanks for sending that picture.
Pretty.
I wanted something green tonight, so I had a Caesar salad. That's how much I'm craving just plant life. Send the pictures to us. There's the sun this morning, the clouds moving in with the cold air and the flurries, and this is Lake Zurich today. Doesn't that look spring-like?
Not.
Not.
All right. Thank you, Brant.
Thanks you. Up next, the Diana tapes you haven't heard. Why Scotland Yard is keeping them under wraps. A legal battle is being waged in England over yet more tapes of Princess Diana.
The tapes are being held by British authorities, and they're said to contain some very sensitive information.
Okay, stop it. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
Very much.
Princess Diana working with voice coach Peter Settlin to improve her public image.
It's like rather than all.
Thank you all.
Settlin worked with the princess in 1992 and 93, making 20 videotapes in which she reportedly discussed her bout with bulimia, her marriage to Prince Charles, and how she was treated by the royal family.
She's just telling you, okay, you want to know, this is who I am, this is what I went through.
Settlin has only 2 of the tapes. 4 others, believed to contain some of the more critical conversations, are in the hands of Scotland Yard. After Diana died, they were seized in a raid at the home of her former butler, Paul Burrell. Settlin has sued to get them back, saying the tapes are his property. There has been no official comment. That doesn't mean Diana's children are not upset.
It's their parents' marriage, the wreckage of it. In William's view, it's being turned over for commercial gain. He hates that.
Well, boy, that's kind of heavyweight, isn't it?
Well, nothing like winning basketball to change the mood. This is good to talk about. Northwestern keeps its postseason tournament hopes alive with a victory over Penn State. And how about DePaul? The Blue Demons send those Horned Frogs hopping back to Texas. We've got all the highlights coming up. Conference tournament basketball. Now that the preliminaries are out of the way, it's time for the conference co-champs in Conference USA to battle it out. DePaul advances to the semifinals with an easy 89-65 victory over Texas Christian. Dave Lato had a few anxious moments in the second half as the Horned Frogs cut a 20-point deficit down to just 8. But Andre Brown came to the rescue, attacking the offensive glass. Brown is 10th double-double of the year, 21 points and 10 rebounds. Junior guard Drake Diener chipped in with 15 points, hitting 3 out of 4 from behind the arc. DePaul gets UAB in the semifinals tomorrow. Bill Carmody's Northwestern Wildcats tied a school record with 22 steals in their Big Ten tournament game against Penn State. But they still need some big shots late. Muhammad has shot a three-pointer that put the Cats up 52-48. A few moments later, it's Vedran Vakusic going backdoor for the layup. Northwestern wins 57-52. The Cats play Michigan State in the quarterfinals. Indiana's Mike Davis has the home state advantage at Conseco Fieldhouse, but the Hoosiers have struggled all year. Against Ohio State today, Indiana gets decent post play from George Leach, outside shooting from Bracy Wright, and 13 points off the bench from Mark Johnson. Hoosiers win. They'll play Illinois tomorrow.
And when they beat us at home, that got them started on their way to winning the Big Ten. I hope it'll be a great game tomorrow. We're going to come out and try to play the best game that we played all year and try to win.
All-American center Emeka Okafor couldn't play against Notre Dame because of back spasms, so Ben Gordon came to the rescue, pouring in 29 points to carry Connecticut to a 66-58 win. Notre Dame probably headed to the NIT with a 17-12 record. Forget about Phil Martelli and the St. Joe Hawks taking a perfect record in the NCAA tournament. St. Joe's got wiped out by Xavier in the Atlantic 10 quarterfinals, 87-67. The loss could cost the Hawks the #1 seed when the pairings are announced on Sunday. Vancouver All-Star Todd Bertuzzi suspended for the rest of the season, including the playoffs, because of that cheap shot punch that put Colorado's Steve Moore in the hospital with a fractured neck. And the Canucks organization was fined $250,000. Bertuzzi will have to apply for reinstatement before the start of next season. The Blackhawks playing at New Jersey tonight, and what a moment for 18-year-old defenseman Michael Barinka. Just recalled from the minors, he scores his first NHL goal, pulling the Hawks within 4-3. But Patrick Eliash then put it out of reach with 2 goals from New Jersey, giving him 33 for the season. Michael Layton had a tough game. Hawks lose again, 6-4. From the NFL, Kansas City has 24 hours left to match the contract offer the Bears made to offensive tackle John Tate. And we're hearing the Chiefs are exploring all their options to try to clear enough cap room to keep Tate. Juan Cruz could be headed to Des Moines, Iowa after a terrible outing this afternoon against Colorado. Kit Pello with a home run off Cruz. He gave up 8 runs and 8 hits in just an inning and a third. Cubs lose to the Rockies 13-3. Another perfect day for baseball at Tucson's Electric Park, spring home of the White Sox. Aaron Rowand continued his hot hitting with this 2-run homer off San Diego's Brian Lawrence. The Sox jumped out to a 4-0 lead, but wound up losing 5-4, dropping their Cactus League record to 4-5. Aaron Rowand, a definite bright spot. He's batting .529 in the spring, so the Sox don't have to worry about center field.
Good. Thank you.
Up next, a roundup straight out of the Wild West, but it's in the Chicago Loop next.
A stampede literally took over the streets of Chicago today. 5 police horses escaped from a West Side stable after a hay delivery person accidentally left it open.
It was pretty weird. You don't see that every day.
That's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. You see a black, a white, and another horse running down the street.
Sounds like the 1800s. The horse made it as far as the South Loop. One suffered a minor injury while trying to jump over a squad car.
They just want to be free.
Yeah.
That is our news for now. Thanks for joining us tonight.
A reminder, the news begins tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Jay Leno starts right now.